on me. Day 2, New Orleans. Well, what do you think of day 2?
What did we do yesterday? New Orleans day 2. So we started with VIP.
The VIP tour service.
Discover New Orleans tour.
It's counting after the hurricane, a total of 1,500 people were confirmed there, around 1,500. But between the upper and lower ninth ward, they combined for over 850 between the two neighborhoods. Okay, the water level is what we're calling sea level. That's what we call sea level. When I say that we're below sea level, keep your eyes on the water as it drops. Imagine what it would be. There was an explosion up on that oil rig that killed 11 men. 11 men died out there. And if you count the sculptures to your left, it's 11 of them. They represent each man who died at sea. Deep water horizon.
So we got to see some of the history, got to see some of the parts of New Orleans that was affected by the hurricane back in 2005, which was pretty cool. They had stop signs where you could see like where the dirty water was like at and how much water was flooded the city. It was pretty awesome. It was terrible, of course, but it was like so cool to be able to see that.
You're about to see a telephone pole coming up to your left. Now on this telephone pole is a diamond-shaped sign. I want you to look on the back of the diamond. See halfway through it, the little gold line going on again? That's where the dirty water reach. On the back of the diamond. So we took a little water back here.
There are some cool parts to it. You saw the two different kinds of levees in the city. You saw some cool architecture, some cool street art.
We saw portions of City Park. Hopefully we're going to go back there before we leave New Orleans.
Yeah, just we didn't have enough time today to get out there, and because it's about a 15-minute drive. Central Park would sit like in a little corner of City Park, which I thought was kind of crazy.
So that's intimidating. Yeah. But we're hoping to go back there and explore some more.
I think we will.
Yeah. We had some more beignets, of course.
They're better than Cafe Du Monde. That's all that matters. They're better than Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah.
Gotta go to there.
For sure.
Now where we are right now, we're at St. Louis Cemetery number 3. Now we have 45 in the city here in New Orleans, right? 45 cemeteries here in New Orleans, and this is the 5th oldest. But if you look around a little bit, you can see one main thing. We bury different, which is above ground. And that's because of two main things. One, our very high water tables. And secondly, as most may know, we are very low below sea level. Now we try a lot of ways to bury back. We tried a few different ways. You see, at one point in time, we were poking holes in coffins, you know, to try to water weigh you down, right? To water weigh you down when it rains. We also put cement on top of the caskets. Cement on top, but if it rains hard, the bodies will pop back up. Now, by us being Catholic, this here is an all Catholic cemetery. So cremation back then, cremation was not an option. So the only way to bury you back then, the only way to bury you was to let you naturally cremate. But I mean, once you get inside the tomb, start cooking. You see, during the summertime back here, during the summer, it reaches almost 300 degrees inside these tombs. Pretty much cooking. So after being in the tomb, after being up in there for a calendar, after being up in there for 1 whole year, you are naturally cremated to ash. After a full year of being up in there, you're naturally cremated. And they collect the remains up in a bag and wrap that bag up tight and they put you right here. I'm kidding you, I'm kidding you. So they would take a 10-foot stick or a pole and push your remains to the back, push it to the back. But another one. You ever heard somebody say, man, I'm tired. I worked a graveyard shift last night. Graveyard shift. They paid grave diggers back then $1 a day to walk back here on this wall and save lives. Because back then, we did bury people alive. We buried a lot of people alive back then. We did. But not on purpose though, not because we're crazy. I blame it all on yellow fever. Let me tell you why. What that disease will do to you is put you in a coma. Now you can be in a coma for a couple of hours or a couple of days. It all depends on how severe you have the disease. But the main thing with yellow fever, guys, is that you will have no pulse. No pulse. And what they say about a duck, if it look like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, then it's a duck, right? Well, if you look dead back then, they buried you on the spot. But to break it down, to save a life or two back then, they tied a bell, a little bell. Ring ring on your ankle. You ever heard time before dead ringer? Yeah? Okay, now you're in a coma. You're in a coma, right? You wake up sitting in a casket. What would you wake up doing? What you wake up doing out of coma? Like panicking, right? Kicking and screaming. Now once you kick, your bell will jingle. And if he hears that bell, he walk back and save your life. It's his job to save your life.
The lady who booked us this VIP tour was like, oh yeah, you're gonna see houses that have been marked because they were looking for people for Katrina, and we were supposed to be able to go into the lower 9th ward, and that didn't happen.
I would also like to be the first one to say and tell you that there will be 2 different sections to the 9th ward neighborhood. There's 2 sections to it. You see, there is this upper 9th ward, which you're in right now. And there is also across the industrial canal, and is labeled as the lower 9th ward. And over there is where they really took a beating, because back there they took up to 19 feet of water, back there around 19 feet. But unfortunately, we cannot go over there today.
Yeah, so I guess you can't drive in the lower 9th ward on a tour bus, but the tour company tells you can, so you book it.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a ripoff.
Yeah.
But I mean, the tour was really cool, worthwhile, but overpriced.
Average at best.
But I thought it was cool.
Average at best.
Then for lunch we went to Johnny's Po' Boys.
Po' Boy is a famous New Orleans sandwich. It's basically bread, French bread, deep fried meat, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato. What do you think of Johnny's?
I liked it. It wasn't really, like, I'm a huge sandwich person, but I've never really had anything like that before. What did I get?
You got the crawfish.
I got crawfish on mine, and you got a whole bunch
I did the seafood muflada.
I don't know what that word is.
It had oysters, catfish, and shrimp.
So we also went to Magazine Street, but it is a 6-mile long street, and we started on the wrong side.
So we started on the canal side, and we thought, you know, hey, we're tourists, we can do what we want.
Yeah.
No. We got about 3.5 miles in.
Did we get that far?
Sammy was about to pass out.
It was 90 degrees outside.
It's 90 degrees outside every day, babe. Anyway.
It's 90 degrees outside. No shade.
Yeah, we didn't get to see the cool stuff. We tapped out. And Sammy ordered a Lyft to take us to freaking this French market.
The French market. So that's a bunch of like really cheap shopping. It's all open. Cheap t-shirts, you know, shot glasses, Mardi Gras beads, masks, like the whole 9 yards.
Cash only. Remember that.
Yes.
Remember that, cash only. I had to do the ATM, and they hit you with those fees. Some cool t-shirts.
Show the t-shirts, the t-shirts. So we got these t-shirts for my sisters.
You're welcome.
And got this one for me. So after the French market, we went to Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo.
T-shirts.
What?
The shirts are over here. They have blue
White.
Oh, what?
I do like a little stone.
Yeah. Show me the shirt.
Oh, I still gotta open the shirt.
Got this little voodoo doll right here.
It's a pocket.
Pocket tee. Oof.
And then
Looks so good.
back with the design.
Looks
Good
so
old
good.
Southern style t-shirt.
Looks so good. Tell me about.
Blind Pelican.
Yeah. Stand back. Okay. Tell me about the Blind Pelican.
Might have been in my top 5 favorite restaurants ever.
What was their crazy deal that they had?
$3 for raw oysters, dozen. 10 for charbroiled. And let me tell you, these charbroiled, they're unreal. Unreal. Gotta get here. Blind Pelican. I'm telling you. Hour and a half wait, but don't wait in that line. Put your name in with the host or hostess and go to the bar area and stock tables or bar stools. We waited 15 minutes.
Maybe not even.
2 bar stools opened up. Bam! We were eating.
We were sneaky!
So I was hesitant on these char-grilled oysters because I've always grown up going to South Carolina and that side of the coast, and they don't do char-grilled oysters. And
They were out of this world. We got 2 dozen of the char-grilled oysters, 1 dozen of the raw, and this fried green tomato appetizer.
it was like a stack. They stacked them, put crab meat and crawfish and this remoulade all over it, and it was amazing.
It was a really cool atmosphere, amazing food. Might go back.
Yeah, not telling her, we're going back. we're going back.
Yeah.
Talked to the owner, really cool guy, really passionate about what he does and how he runs his business. Service was okay, but the food was so good. You got to check it out if you're in NOLA. This is a must stop. So after the Blind Pelican, we went to
the Voodoo Lady 5-part walking tour. So it was witchcraft, voodoo, pirates, vampires, and ghosts. So we followed this guy named Randy around for 2 hours.
and it was only $48 for the both of us to do this tour.
Right.
2-hour walking tour.
Yeah. So I would say it was well worth it. We got to see Delphine LaLaurie's house where she tortured, she's like this infamous lady who tortured her slaves. And she was featured on American Horror Story Season 3 Coven, which of course I am obsessed with American Horror Story. So we got to talk a little bit about Marie Laveau and Delphine LaLaurie and all these crazy people. And
it was neat.
It was awesome.
It was really neat.
And so guys, we're gonna be talking about this massive gray home right here on the corner. It is a single family home. It is everything from above the garage all the way on the corner right here. It's the most famous haunted house in all of New Orleans. And guys, this house and this lady were already a really big deal before American Horror Story rolls into town. And then American Horror Story rolls into town, taps Kathy Bates to play this lady. It blows it all out of proportion. For those who are not aware, this lady really had a torture chamber inside of this house where she tortured and killed anywhere from 7 to 15 of her slaves. And authorities go in and they're inspecting the property, and they're totally not prepared for what they're going to find. And they stumble upon this room. It is said that 4 men go into this room. When they go into the room, 2 of them throw up, 2 of them pass out. It's also said that when they go into this room, rats crawl out in the insides of the body. What else is going on inside of this room? There are men stranded from hooks hanging from the ceiling, visible signs scarring torture over an extended period. Some of them have big open gashes on their bodies, guys, and some are actually said to be missing their arms and their legs. There's another man who is forced to keep his head in an upright position because he's jammed in like a spiked collar. And then another person whose arms and legs have been broken in different places, allowed to re-heal at opposite angles. And this person can only crawl around on the floor. And they're kept stuffed inside of a box in this room. Now, in the show American Horror Story, they made it like it was just the woman doing this. We believe the husband was implicated as well. It is said he was doing medical experimentation, cutting them open, removing organs, sewing them to the outsides of the bodies, seeing how long they would live for. Big point I want to make about all of this, you guys. Lorries were never held responsible for the crimes and atrocities that they committed. The biggest fire in New Orleans history, fire 1788, out of the over 1,100 structures that made up the city at the time, over 850 burned to the ground. It was a huge devastation for the city. One of those buildings was a boarding school that used to be at the site of where the Andrew Jackson Hotel sits to this day. It was said that 5 of the young boys never made it out alive. For years, guys, Andrew Jackson's been plagued with the ghost stories of children. People calling the front desk middle of the night. There has to be a family, like 5, 10 kids staying above us. We can hear them laughing, running, screaming, playing. Can you do something about it? And the front desk is like, there's no kids here. Some of their greatest hits, guys, story of a businessman waking up in the hotel, his TV scrambled, poltergeist style. As he's sitting up in bed to see what's going on, he sees a little boy sitting on the floor staring at the TV. Man screams out, little boy disappears, TV goes off. Other big thing they say happens here is sleep paralysis. And you guys, sleep paralysis is a real thing. I'm very well versed on St. Louis #1, which is the Catholic cemetery, but there's other cemeteries we refer to as oven tombs. Not all of these above ground tombs are oven tombs, but you have the. So I got some big ticket items that I'm going to finish with. We got voodoo and we got Marie Laveau. And so biggest misconceptions that I get on all of my tours is that people think that voodoo is a negative or a demonic thing. They think it's a bad thing. They also think that Marie Laveau is a bad person. Both those assumptions cannot be further from the truth. Voodoo is a very positive thing. Marie Laveau is a very good person. And so what voodoo is, guys, is ancestor worship. So what you were doing is you're trying to get in touch with these blow-ups, to get in touch with your ancestors in the afterlife, or any spirits in the afterlife that can help you in this life or plane. But guys, the reason that voodoo is like the bad boy of religions is in voodoo, you invite the spirits in. So wherever voodoo is practiced, it's kind of like placing a magnet next to a compass as far as spirits go. There are many spirits that travel through there. And so pop culture has not been very kind to voodoo or Marie Laveau. In fact, American Horror Story, they made her out to be a lunatic killer. And the only thing they got right about this woman in American Horror Story is that she was a hairdresser. And guys, what do women do when they go and get their hair done?
Gossip.
They bonus points all around. They talk, they gossip, they spill the tea. In all actuality, Marie Laveau was very good at getting information about people as well as releasing information about people. She was a power player here in the 1800s.
Then we went to this bar who had pirate connections with President Andrew Jackson.
Jean Lafitte. It's the oldest, longest standing bar in America. It's from 1700, 1729
yes.
or something.
I think
1772.
1700s.
I don't know.
No, it was a great way to finish the night. Definitely New Orleans it up while on the tour, you know, walking the streets, carried a drink the whole time, enjoyed every second of it.
This open container thing is clutch.
Ohio, you need to get it.
It's clutch.
Yeah. Other than that, I got nothing for the rest of the day. That was great. Ready for bed.
Ready for day 3! Woo!